All right, so Warlocks, today is your guys' turn. I've been having some comments here and there asking me to make a Warlock build, so I'm here doing just that, and we're going to be looking at your version of the Volatile Rounds build, because in my opinion, I think that is one of the strongest setups in the entire game. Yesterday, we did one for the Titan, so we're going to see how this plays out with the Warlock and the different synergies you guys can use with this setup. So our main weapon with this setup is going to be the Funnel Web, and a Subsistence Frenzy or Subsistence Adrenaline Junkie are going to be your two god rolls. I personally like Frenzy because you still will be reloading from time to time, so it's nice to have that reload speed. So that's my personal preference, but any of those two rolls is completely up to you. Otherwise, if you guys are partaking in endgame content where you need a little bit more range, the Lay Monarch is fantastic. The poison will be triggering all the volatile, and it works really, really well when you need to sit at a distance. Otherwise, in our kinetic and our heavy slots, completely up to you what you run. Normally, I just run a Void Heavy because we're going to be using Font of Might for our mods, and then otherwise I like to run an intrinsic champion weapon up here, so Arbalest is usually one of my go-tos. Otherwise Bastion is very good as well. Another weapon you guys can use is the Ruinous Effigy. It is okay with volatile rounds. One cool thing about it is when you're holding the sphere and you block, all of the tick damage that the blocking does actually triggers the explosions, which is really cool, and it's pretty fun to use in some low tier content. Now let's quickly run through our armor and our armor mods that we're going to be running with this setup. Our exotic that we're going to be running is Nezarec Sin. All of the void explosions from our volatile rounds, our funnel web, our grenades and melee, all of this is going to contribute to our Nezarec Sin, and it's going to allow you guys to just keep looping this and keep your volatile rounds active at all times. Now for the mods on our armor, I do like to keep my Nezarec Sin Solar so I can run double Ashes to Assets, and then the Font of Might. This season is a 1-point mod from the artifact, so I will be equipping that to save some space and get double Ashes to Assets on there. Otherwise, on our gloves, I like to run Melee Whalemaker, another 1-point mod here this season, and then fit whatever champion mods you guys need on there with the space left. And then on my chest piece, this is going to be where I'm throwing Volatile Flow. This is what's going to give us our Volatile Rounds. So this is another artifact mod. It's in the last column. So whenever you guys pick up a Void Elemental Well, it's going to grant your Void weapons Volatile Rounds. And this is what pairs so well with the Funnel Web. Since it shoots so fast, you're going to be applying and exploding those Volatile Rounds very quickly. And it's going to allow you guys to have some insane ad clear. Otherwise, I have the Double Resistance mod from this season and a Reserve mod for my Heavy. And then on my boots, I like to run Elemental Ordnance so we can get our, obviously, our grenades, getting our Void Elemental Wells, and then otherwise I'm fitting Absolution and a Rocket Scavenger. Rocket Scavenger is a 1-point mod from this season. And then finally down to my class item, this is where I'm going to be putting Well of Tenacity. We're going to be picking up Void Wells constantly, and you guys are going to get that 50% damage reduction, which is huge. This is basically the new Protective Light. And then we're going to be running Devouring Depths, which is another artifact mod this season. So whenever you cast your Void Super while you're critically wounded or benefiting from Devour, which in our case is going to be active at all times, it's going to increase your damage of that super. I believe it is 30%. So whenever you guys are casting your Nova Bomb, it's going to get 30% more damage, which is a lot for how much damage the Nova Bomb base does. And then with the leftover points, I like to run a stat mod and then also Overload Grenades, because Overload SMG really doesn't work too well right now. So it's nice to have this guaranteed option to stun my Overload champions. Now, taking a look at our Voidwalker subclass setup for our super, I like to run Cataclysm, and then otherwise Healing or Empowering Rift is completely up to you. I just keep Healing Rift on for our Child of the Old God so I can get more grenade energy back. Otherwise, we're going to be using Burst Glide, and then Pocket Singularity, obviously, and then my grenade that I really like is Vortex Grenade. You can use whatever one you want, but in my opinion, Vortex Grenade is the best. And then my aspects that I'm running is Feed the Void, so that's our Devour. This is going to help us deal more damage with our super and also just have insane survivability. And then on our other aspect, we're going to be running Child of the Old Gods, so we get that Black Hole, and that's going to give us grenade and melee energy when we send it to enemies. And then taking a look at our fragments, I like to run Echo of Expulsion because we're going to be using our Void abilities all the time, and it's going to add to our ad clear. And then Echo of Undermining, we're going to be throwing grenades all the time, so might as well be weakening our targets and doing extra damage. And then Echo of Persistence, so our Devour lasts longer. And then finally Echo of Remnants, so our Vortex Grenade also lasts longer, because it's going to last so long that if enemies keep running into it, you can actually get 2 sets of Void Wells to spawn from it, which is really going to help the uptime on your volatile rounds. Also, if you guys want a little bit more uptime on your Nova Bomb, feel free to swap out any of those with the Echo of Reprisal. I would personally swap out either Echo of Remnants or Echo of Undermining. It's completely up to you which one of those two you get rid of, but if you guys want to use Echo of Reprisal. Overall, this build has ridiculous ad clear and also survivability to go along with it in terms of our Devour and then also our Well of Tenacity. see that combo is disgusting for our survivability. Also, you guys get pretty darn crazy burst damage as well if you guys are using a Void Heavy, and then also our Nova Bomb with the Artifact mod to increase its damage is just disgusting for killing like champions and also starting off damage on a boss. But I'm going to leave you guys with some gameplay to see exactly how this build plays out and how I personally play it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We have a ton more videos coming out here in Witch Queen, so hopefully you guys are excited for that. But anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.
Their expedition is not sanctioned. Any that join them act alone. My father's obsession with the voice in the darkness must not infect our own ranks.
I guess this means the Empress won't mind us fighting our way in.